All right, hello. I am here to do the Generation Gamma rules ramble for those of you who would like it. Um, Apologies for the lighting. I'm in a new location. Um, let's get started. So the basic format. The setup I've done mostly. You guys will do the second half of. So I've removed all of the rooms that you guys were in before, and now all 14 of you will start in a chat called generic room 1 parentheses gamma, um, and basically your goal is to get to room 2 of gamma by the end of this generation. We will get to the trust list in a bit. But yeah, that point when you have to get to room 2 is called the checkpoint. You don't know what that is. I have not revealed it. I will not reveal it until it happens. It will happen after. So basically, this generation will consist of parts. All of the parts. So it will be like part 1, part 2, part 3, part 4, etc. Um, and all of the parts will be under one round, round 8. So every post I make will be round 8, part 1, round 8, part 2, etc. And during each part, you will have opportunities to move between the rooms, room 1 and room 2. You could go to room 2, you could go back to room 1. Anything could happen there. And the rules for moving between rooms will change every part. And I will explain those rules when the part comes up, so you know, full transparency, or mostly transparency, how it's going to work. Um, Lists. So this generation, instead of submitting votes, you're submitting a trust list. Every part, I want a trust list of how you're ranking every other player in the game, 1 through 13. I don't care if you copy paste the exact same list. I would like a new one. If you do not submit a list for one of the parts, we're at the point of the game where I'm going to start punishing not voting. So your list will be completely randomized, and I will publicly say their list was randomized. Um, do 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 do. And in terms of the list, so for part 0, that's why I'm calling this stage where you're just reading the rules, asking questions. I would like a list of the other 13 players, just so I have an idea of where you stand with all of them in the game. This list will have absolutely no impact on anything in the game. I promise. Like it's literally just for me, and to make sure that you know how to send in a list and what wouldn't work in case you try to do something and it doesn't work. Um, but for part 1 onwards, the lists will matter, and I will tell you how they matter when they matter. Mhm. Generally, those near the top of the list have a greater chance of moving to room 2. Those at the bottom of the list have a greater chance of moving or staying in room 1. Crates, I will offer crates, but I will explain how that works when they come up. Frequently asked questions. Can or should you put yourselves on your list? No, you can't. Plain and simple. I do not want you on your own list. It just makes it a little bit weirder for me to tally. Can you change your list? Yes, you can change your list up to the end of the voting period or the end of the part, but it must be completely finalized by the voting deadline, or, like I said, I will publicly announce that your entire list is random. I don't care if you submit 12 players and you figure out the 13th. If you don't have that 13th, and I'm not able to tell you before the deadline, I need you to catch that yourself, because otherwise I will just randomize your list and tell everybody I have. Will a player's list ever become public knowledge? So, not necessarily the whole list, but there are ways that parts of the list will become public knowledge, and I will explain how that works when those come. Are there other ways a player can be eliminated besides missing the checkpoint, moving to room 2 before the checkpoint, or not moving to room 2 before the checkpoint? Yes, there are other opportunities, but I will explain how those work when they arise. How many players will be eliminated this generation? I know, but you guys don't. When will the generation end? As with any generation, you don't know. And if you have any other questions, let me know. Yeah. Pretty simple, pretty easy, pretty mysterious. Cool. I will stop the recording.